start this session on the project feasibility. Okay. So the topic that we are learning in the module number 2 from the project management and the entrepreneurship, it is the project feasibility. Some of the topic that we covered in the last lecture, and we will continue this with the what are the various types of the feasibility report in today's lecture. So let's see what we learn in a quick recap about the last session, that we have five types of the feasibility report, feasibility studies, and in that one, the one is the technical one, economic, schedule, operational, and the legal feasibility. So in the feasibility studies, we include the we studied that the technical, economical, scheduling, the operational, and the legal one. So one by one, we look about the description of it. So in the as the technical feasibility in this one is the project is possible with the current technology that we have discussed about it. What technical risk is there? Availability of the technology, and in that one again we have the sub questions as is it available locally? Can it be obtained? And will it be compatible? So when we are studying the technical feasibility, in that one we have a different questions and we need to give the answer for it. So the question that we are arise is the project is possible with the current technology? So look what are the technology present today so that I can use the most updated technology for production one, or for the process one, or for giving the services too. Okay. And here, if the answer is yes, go ahead. Again, you look out what a technical risk is there. What are the types of the risk is include in the in when we are choosing that particular technology. Okay. So when we talk about the availability of the technology, again, is it easily available? Because locally, if it is available, then it having the low cost technology that we can purchase it. Okay. Can it be obtained? So is it available to everybody, or there is a restriction for the project? Okay, for that project, will it be compatible? Then when we talk about the technical fields, is it compatible in this situation? So there are the number of technologies are used in today's era. So the it is not necessary the things which is yeah, in the other country will be the same use for the in our country. Okay. So depend on the what is the environment, what is the atmosphere, the society, social issues, and all other things. On that one it will be the depend. So let's look quickly recover about give the answer that whether a technical feasibility in that one, does the technical feasibility is easily available? Does it have the no risk? Okay. And if the answer is yes, then definitely we will go ahead for it. Now we will see in detail about the economical feasibility. When we studied the economical feasibility, okay. So what is in economic? Well, first question is to benefit from that particular project. So this is very important, that how much benefit that I will get when I'm investing the money, or when I'm investing something on it. Okay. Same thing is what will be the cost of the project. That is also the important, because many times you might have a good recovery, you will get a good benefit, but does the organization have the sufficient budget, a sufficient financial sheet, or we call the balance sheet, so that they can be just jump into that business or that project and they will get a success from it. So in economical feasibility is very important. Okay. Sometimes you might be file that yes, a technology is available, but it is very costly. Okay. Just like a simple example in a day-to-day life that we have, I would like to give you that when you want to purchase a car, now that there are the different technologies are available. Just like we have the petrol car, we have the diesel car, we have the electrical car, we have the CNG, LPG, that the things are available, the fuels. Okay. Now we say that yes, economically, if we use the electrical car, then it will be the benefit to me. Similarly, it will be benefit to the environment. But again, we are very interested to know what is the cost of that vehicle. If cost of the vehicle is out of my budget, then is it possible for me to purchase that car, purchase that vehicle? Then definitely not, though there is a good benefit. Okay. A same thing has happened with the project. When you are working for a new project, when you want to start some new project, that time you always check it, what will be the cost of that project, and if the cost is very high and benefit is good but till your balance sheet is not say that to go ahead for that business, then definitely we will skip that idea. Okay, so here we always look the economical feasibility. In that one, what are the various questions? So first we have to ask the questions and give the answers for it. So if the answer is correct or we say it is applicable to you, then we can go ahead for a project. So one question that is arise, it is the project possible given resource constraint? This is the first questions to be asked in the economical one. Second, what are the benefits from it? So first is the project possible given resource constraint? So whatever be the resources which are available with us, with the help of that the same resources, can I achieve the target? Because again, when we are doing a financially or when we are looking about the economical point of view, then you always see whatever be the resources is available from that one. If it is we get achieve that project, then it is good thing. Otherwise, definitely it will not the economical one. Another is what are the benefit from it? What will be the benefit from that project? The project, as I said, project is not only related to the project, the process or the product, or not only related to service. Project is anything. Just like they always, I am giving the example, the in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, there is a vaccination. So this is also the one of the program and the project. Now, what is the benefit from it? Definitely, you will not earning from that because of the vaccination. But yes, because of the health of the people from the country, that is the priority, and that is the benefit of it. That will be the benefit. Okay, and that's why we seen in that case. When you talk about the process and the production type or the business type, then always we see what will be the benefit from it, how much money that I can earn with the help of that project. Okay, so the definitions might be changed, but yes, always we look a benefit from it. In what way we will get a benefit is not a matter, but definitely from that project, if you want to run it, then definitely we will get some benefit from it. So that is the one of the part that we have to learn in the economic feasibility. What are the development and the operational cost? So you give in detail about the what is the operational cost and what is the development cost. Means when you are erecting, when you are establishing a business, the project, that time what will be the cost of it? And the again, not only that cost, we call that is a fixed cost, but also the working cost, that is the operational one. When we are using that machineries, when we are using the that process, then what will be the operational cost? Many times it is happened that the fixed cost will be the less, but the working cost is very high. And you know that the fixed cost, if it is high, then there is no problem, but if it is working cost is high, then it is throughout the project of project life. Okay, the costing is very high, the operational cost. So always check point and see what will be the fixed cost of the project and what will be the operational cost. Definitely we will not get an exact figure, but yes, it is near about approximately the figure that we will get, and from that one we can say yes, we can go ahead for that project or not. Are the benefits worth the cost? Now this is also the important. Just like the previously, I am giving the example, gave the example of the electrical car and the petrol car. When I'm talking about the electrical car and the petrol car, you see there is a vast difference between these two cars. It is double or triple the price of electrical car. But yes, I will get some benefit of it. But does it is a worth? If I say if my car running is not that much, then what happen? I will not recover that costing of that car if I'm choosing the electrical car. Because if say the electrical car having the 30 lakhs rupees is the price, and the petrol car having the 10 lakh rupees price. In this case, if I choose the electrical one, then what will be the running of my car? If the running is no, much more, then definitely I can recover the cost of the vehicle. Otherwise, it is very difficult for me to recover the cost. So you always taking the balancing of it when we are doing a business, when we are, choosing the project. That time always look the benefit worth of the cost. What will be the initial cost and what is the recovery point, means the time to recover that cost. Okay, this is also the important part, that is called a break even point. If you want to start any business and you want to establish an industry, that time you always calculate the break even point. Now what is that break even point? The break even point is that we call it is a BEP. It is that point where there is no loss, no benefit. And that point, how much time I need to achieve that point, means there is no loss, no benefit. So that will give the time required to recover the costing of your project. So whatever be the cost that you are initially just invest in that project, then you need to recover that one. Say if you want to invest 1 crore rupees, then how much time I need to recover a 1 crore rupees from it. And definitely when we talk about a 1 crore, then definitely it is not a 1 crore, because you are taking the help of the financial institute, and definitely there is an interest rate. Okay, so that cost also you have to include. You might be learn it in economics when you are studying the economics. That time you might be learn about it. Okay, so what are the benefits of the cost that we have to think about it, and we have to include the points. Then the next point is the schedule feasibility. So we look the technical one. We learn this the economical feasibility. Now the schedule feasibility. What are the various questions that we have to ask before starting any type of the project? So is it possible to build a solution in a time to be useful? Now, when we talk about a schedule feasibility, in this case, what will be the time to achieve or to complete that project? This is very important. Why? Because if you see the market is continuously fluctuate. Okay. So if there is certain problem, then what will be the solution of it? How quickly you will give a solution of it? I would like to give one example that again the same example that this COVID-19 pandemic situation. So there is a demand of the sanitizer. There is demand of the PPE kit. There is a demand of the mask. Now the situation is just it is come out, and now we have a very less time to build up the technology, to build up the plant. Now how quickly you will give a solution to the people or to the demand of market? Means the PPE kit availability, the sanitizer available, the mask available. So in this case, the time period is very less. And in between, if you give the solution, then it is a benefit to you. Otherwise, now if you want to start the manufacturing of the mask or the manufacturing of the PPE, then you might be not get a benefit from it, because already there are the n number of industries who already they have started their manufacturing after the pandemic in within a 2 or 3 months. And so if you want to start now, then definitely you will not get a benefit of it. So how quickly you will give the solution of your problem? Okay, that is we call a scheduling. A time is very important. Second is what are the consequences of the delay? Now, if you want to start a business, you want to start a project, then if there is a delay in a project because of the anything, it might be the environmental problem, it might be the social problem, anything, then what will be the cost of it? Cost of it means, does still it is a benefit to us? Just like when we talk about the Jaitapur plant. So there is from the last 3 4 years, it is as it is. There is no the moment of there is no that project is not started till date. Now that is the delay. Now what will be the cost of that delay? Is it again I will get a benefit from that project till if I start in a present situation? Just like the 4 years is wasted. Okay, no problem. But if I the in the present day, if I have to start that plant, does it give a benefit to me? If it is, then okay, go ahead with that one. Otherwise, again check it. Okay, so the consequences always be calculated if there is a delay, any constraint on the schedule. This is again the one point, because there is a number of problems might be arises during the execution part. So when we talk about the scheduling one, you have to check what are the problem or the constant that is happened during that execution plan. Okay, so you have to make a scheduling accordingly. Just like it is very difficult for us to construct the buildings, construct the plant, or the erection of the plant in the rainy season in the Konkan area. So that 3 months you have to keep away, because in that 3 months there is no chances of the erection of your plant because of the heavy rain. So you again include that things in the scheduling part. Can this constraint be met? So can we solve that constraint? If it is answer is yes, go ahead for the project. The fourth one is the operational feasibility. So we learn the technical one, economical one, scheduling, and now the operational feasibility. Now what are the part in operational feasibility? Means you just establish a plan. And now what will be the operational feasibility? Does it workable? Technology is available. Scheduling doesn't matter. Economical feasibility say yes. Now we will look about the operational one. Can it be operated? So for that one, there are the various questions to be asked before doing the study. And that is, if the system is developed, will it be used? So whatever be the system which we are established, is it a use? Human and social issues, this is very important. Again, when we do the execution part, when we do the operation one, then the human and social issues is very important, because many times in that area, when you want to start a business, or they say the project or industry, we call industry, then the people around the plant, they are opposing the plant, just like the example of the Jaitapur. So when the government or any industry, they want to start at the industry in that area, then the people are opposing just because of the anything. It might be the environment harming, it might be the harming to the human beings, it might be the dangerous to the health, people health. It might have the problems, maybe social problems may arise just because of that industry to be constructed in that area. Okay, so the human and social issues is very important. So in the operational feasibility, we always check the points of it. Just like when you want to start any business or any industry in the Konkan region, you always check the social issues related to this area. Many times the people, not only from this region, but from the many regions, they are opposing the plant. There are the number of examples where the people are opposing the plant just because of the safety, because of the some environmental issues and all. Yes, their side is right, but at the other side, that person who is investing the money on that project, he has to look out that part. Okay. In the human social issues, one is the potential labor objections, manager resistance, organizational conflicts and policies, social acceptability, legal aspect, and the government and the regulations. Okay. So one point that we have already explained, social acceptability of that project. Potential labor objections. Now there are the many operations. It is not possible for the human beings, or it is unsafe for the humans, and because of that one, they are opposing the that operations. Okay, just like when we talk about the chemical engineering and the chemical industries, then the students, the parents, they always think that is not a safety industry. And just because it is not a safety, the people or the parents and the students are not interested to take admission into the chemical engineering. What is that? It is again, they have a certain the what we call that, because of the unsafety and all these things, they are not interested to work in it. Same thing is happened with the labors. The plant which we are running, the operations which we want to carry it out, in that one there may be the chances of the opposed by the labors. They are not interested to work on it. Okay. Manager resistances, many times the managers, they are resisting the operational feasibility of that plant. though the technology is good. Okay, that means the things that we need to give the answer of it. Organizational conflicts and the policies. Now, the policies which are made by the organization and the internal conflicts between that project. So that it is one of the matter that we have to look about the operational feasibility. The legal aspects and the government, obviously when we are doing the operation, that time you always check point of legal aspects and the government, what are the government policies, and look out the legal aspects about that the project. Just like if you see in the Ratnagiri city, in a MIDC Mirzore or other MIDCs, whichever is situated nearer to the Ratnagiri, then that is not a chemical zone. So that's why there is very little or only the 2 to 3 industries are established in the Ratnagiri, because the government, they are declared that only this particular area is for the food processing unit. So many unit, if you look out in the MIDC, you see that is the food industries. Most of the times, the food industries, or in the workshops and all, that is related to the mechanical one, because the government are not permitting at this area to start a chemical industries. But when you move to the Lotte MIDC in the Chiprun, that time what happened? It is purely declared as a chemical zone. So they have the lots of industries only related to the chemical one. Maximum are from the chemical side. Okay, so here is what the government declare the locations of it, and accordingly we have to work. So the legal aspect is that again we need to check it. Does we get a permission to started the business here or to started the industry? Again, you have to check the norms of the government of India, check the norms of the state, check the norms of the district and all others, because there are number of times the locations get preserved, or it is reserved for some a particular business or other things. Okay, the regulations is very important part while studying the operational feasibility. Now the last one, it is the legal feasibility. Now, what is mean by legal feasibility and what are the things that we have to check out in the legal feasibility? First is the investigate if the proposed system conflicts with the legal requirement. Means when you are buying a technology, okay, so just like you are buying a technology as a for the process plant, and in that process plant, you see that one of the raw the byproduct which is generated from that process, and that product is banned in particular country. So in this case, what we have to check out that plant, means that when we buying the technology, during the operation, the product byproduct which is generated for that product, the country or that particular area are banning. In this case, it is not possible for us to establish that process plant in that location. Or in certain cases, just like already in the last lecture, I have given the example of the banning of the liquor in a particular in the particular state, banning of the gutka in the particular state. Okay, so what is that? The legal, if you see the legal things, then they are not accepting that particular product, neither sale nor for the production. Now, as a project manager, you need to check out the legal things about it. Okay, same thing has happened with the services. Okay, when you are giving a service, in that case also there is a certain legal the documents or the legal rules and regulations to carry out that services. Okay, so you need to check it, investigate that part. The examples is given specified zone for the particular type of industry. Already we discussed on it that if you want to start a chemical industry, then the Mirzore MIDC or the Ratnagiri in Ratnagiri, the Mirzore MIDC, they are not giving the permission to start a chemical plant in the this particular zone. It means it is a restricted zone for the chemical industries. Okay, same thing if you want to ask to start a plant or establish a plant in the Lotte MIDC, and the plant is food processing. Now again, they are not giving a permission to start a food processing plant in that MIDC, because it is purely chemical zone and the food is again it is a consumable one. And if because of the certain norms they are not giving the permission. Okay, so here we always check out the legal things about the project, and you have to make a study of it. Okay, so this is all about we seen that all the things that is related to the feasibility. So the five types of the feasibility, again I repeat: a technical one, operational, economical one, or the scheduling one, and the lastly a legal feasibility. Okay, now the next topic that we want to we would like to learn, and it is the feasibility reports of various types of the projects. So what are the contents exactly included in it? We see that types of feasibility. Okay, so you have to take a report of the technical one, the operational one, scheduling one, and all. Now what are the contents in the feasibility reports that we need to add? The first one, we have to check out the raw material survey. Now when you are making a feasibility report, a whole feasibility report of that project, then first see a raw material. Now this is related to the process industry. I'm talking about process industry. This is the example of the process industry. What? A raw material survey. Now why there is a raw material survey is needed? Now you see that the industry or the process which we want to start, does that raw material is available in locally or available in the vicinity of the plant? If it is easily available in the vicinity of the plant, then it is very easy for us that we can process out that raw material, one thing, and make a finished product. Another thing, as it is locally available, so we have the raw material in a less cost, because transportation is nearer to your plant, and you can save the transportation cost. Okay, as you have nearer to the raw material, the plant is nearer to the raw material is nearer to the your plant. In this case, what happened? You might be get a fresh product. Just like I would like to give the one example, that mangoes, the Alfonso, that we know that this is the area of the mango. Now if you want to start a food industry, food process industry, and you want to make a pulp from the mango. Now, for establishing that plant nearer to the Ratnagiri or nearer to the raw material where we got, that is in the Konkan region, then we will get a benefit of it. But if you want to start that plant in Kolhapur, then what happen? It will not be useful. Why it is not useful? Because you have to transport the mangoes from the this city, the one point to the next point, which is away almost 130 150 kilometer away from it. Now that transportation cost is you have to include in the processing, and you have to include that in a even in the prices of the product. So in this case, what happened? Rather than I'm transporting the raw material, it is better to I have to transport the finished product. Okay. So here always check the availability of the raw material nearer to your plant, in the vicinity of your plant. Then only it is possible to how to reduce the cost of the processing. You can reduce the cost of the product. Okay, and you will get a benefit from it, because always when you have to make any type of the product, then check the quality and the quality, quantity, and the price. The customer is look the quality, it look the quantity as well as the price. Now one of the product that will get in a 10 rupees, the same quantity, same quality, and the another product that will get for the 15 rupees with the same quantity and the same quality, then definitely the customer is choosing the product value which having a 10 rupees. And if you want to fix that part, the prices to be low, and in that case definitely how to reduces the costing, and that one of the cost is the raw material. Second thing, not only we talk about the costing, but again definitely it is very easy for us to run the plant if the raw material is available nearer to your plant. Second most important, the demand study. Now what do you mean by demand? Now how much is the demand of the of your product in a market? Now if you see there is 100 units are sale in a market, and means that the demand is 100 unit, and the industries which is already established, they have producing the 150. It means the 50 unit are excess in market, and now you want to start your business in that area. Now again you have to look what is the demand. If in a future, if the demand is increased, then there is no problem to start a business, start in that industry. And if you see that in that case, there is no change in the demand. From the last 3 years, the unit are same, 100 unit, and the productions are 150, or it might be rises from the 100, 120, 130 like that. There are the number of units are established in between. So when there is a no rise in demand, then definitely we have to look and make the survey of it. A technical study is very important. Already we discussed on this one. What is the technical study that we have to check it? In that one, we need to check the product pattern, process selection, plant size. Okay. In the technical study, quickly describe about it. A product pattern, we need to check it. Definitely, we will see the in detail product pattern in the next slides. Okay, the process selection and the plant size. We have to check the location too. Okay, location is again very important, because if you choose the wrong location to your industry, to your plant, then definitely you might be in a trouble. Then the project capital cost and the sources of finance that need to include in the feasibility report. The profitability and the cash flow analysis that is to be included in the feasibility report. Okay, so this is what I'm talking. This is the contents we are taking as a feasibility. What are the contents that is to be included in the feasibility report? Okay, the raw material, demand study, technical study, location, project capital cost and the source of finance, profitability and the cash flow analysis. So if you see, this is the one technical study. In this one, you see here, it is a technical feasibility. So technical one, and these 2 points is related to the economical feasibility. Okay, so already we have the topic that we learn. It is a technical feasibility study and the economical feasibility study. So the points to be covered in technical one, this one, and points to be covered in the economical one, this one. Okay, after that okay, so these are the points that we have in the feasibility report. In details, all these 6 points that we will see in the next lecture, how to write a feasibility report for a project. Okay, thank you.